What's going on, guys? Welcome back to a brand new video. And today we're going to be talking about camera angles in eSports box. And the reason we are is because they put out this tweet, as well as a couple of the devs, or more specifically Rack in the Discord, putting this about, what do we think about camera angles, what ones would we want to see, and things like that. Now, I'm not going to talk about the shakes and the effects and things like that. People have said that they don't like, or they do like, or they said in the August update we can turn off or on, whichever we choose. And we're talking strictly about camera angles, my thoughts on the ones we've seen, and ones that I would like to see in the game. So off the start, the main camera angle that I think of when I think of the gameplay is the one where when you go in close to one another and you fight on the inside, the camera zooms in, and when you back out, the camera gets further and further away. I really liked that one. I thought it looked smooth. I would genuinely, if that was the only camera angle, I would never have any complaints, and I didn't have any complaints through it. That was one thing that I saw a few people complain about, but I genuinely really liked it. I had no issues with it whatsoever, and I would have quite enjoyed it. Like in UFC 4, people say that the camera angle I use is quite weird, which is the real zoomed out one, and I liked it, to be honest. I liked being able to, when they were on either side of the ring, you could see the full scope of the ring, and then when we were inside, the crowd was blurred and you could see waist up, which I really liked. I liked the difference in it, instead of just completely zoomed in or completely zoomed out. I liked the difference, and that's probably a camera angle that I could see myself genuinely using in the game. But then when we talk about camera angles, obviously, through, for example, an NBA 2K game, you have like 12 different options from the favorite, which is 2K, and then you have a 1 to 10 point zoom where you can zoom in or out, and then you obviously have your side on, diagonal, follow a certain player, whichever it may be. Same with FIFA, you have various camera angles throughout that game as well. And obviously I would like to be able to pick camera angle and pick a zoom distance. I think that would be awesome, same as what 2K has done. But like I said, if this was the only camera angle they had, I'd be more than happy with it. But when we do talk about camera angles, there's a few that I'd like to see. Right off the start, I'd like to see an extra wide angle, so it's the entire time is the full fight. So I can see the ring completely, I can see a good amount of the crowd, and I can see both fighters head to toe, and complete. The camera only pans with them. It doesn't zoom in or out. It just pans around the ring, depending. I say it sticks to one of their shoulders, so it pans around like that. So we're always following the fight exactly at the same distance. The distance never changes. It's just one solid distance that pans around the ring constantly like that. And then on the flip side of that, an extra close angle where the fight is completely waist up. I know obviously when they go out, the camera has to kind of pull itself out slightly, but maybe it could be knee up and waist up, so you don't see your fighter's feet at all. And when you're on the inside, it's really, really close. Or maybe they just have it so the camera pans out ever so slightly, or that when you're on the inside, it takes up middle of the screen and you've still got the side of the screen empty, so that as you back up, it stays waist distance. And I suppose that would work better against the CPU, because then you could kind of back up and the CPU might almost disappear in a sense. But I don't know if I'd want that. I'd probably like both fighters on the screen at all times. But I'd like to see a completely wide one, like I said, that pans around the ring, and then one that really sticks to both fighters like that, but a real close waist up angle. Then more of a couple of fun ones would be like a crowd view for when you're in your career. If you want to watch a fight card, your fighter can sit ringside and you can watch the fight. So, you're looking at the bottom of the ring is kind of here at your eye level, and you're somewhat looking up at the fights like that, as if you were watching a real event. And obviously watching real events in real life and going to live events, I love it. Cage Warriors, for example. Even white collar fights, even professional bouts in York Hall. I love watching it, being at that, when you're kind of looking up at the fires. I think it's awesome. From ringside to up in the heavens, when you have that full scope where you can see the ring relatively small, and you've got the big screens and things. I think that would be cool for a crowd point of view, especially if you could have spectators in fights. People could choose where they want to sit. I think that would be pretty awesome, to be honest. But that would be more just for career or for spectator mode in some sense. And then one more that I'm not sure people would agree with, but just thinking about it, I thought one that would be cool would be a fighter cam, not first person. I don't really want first person. I saw people asking for first person. I don't want it. It didn't work in Fight Night Round 3, and I wouldn't like the idea of it in this. But one I would like is kind of a third person, obviously, because it's a boxing game, but from the camera kind of back here, so you can see your fighter's waist up and you're fighting from over their shoulder. And let's say you roll the camera. So if you roll this way, the camera pans this side. Being in the camera is like watching your back. And as you pivot, the camera pivots with you, and it's always watching your back, so you're looking dead at your fight. Admittedly, let's say the fighter is then like this, you then can't see the opponent if the fighter is right in front of you. But obviously the camera could always pan side to side over the third person angle, like the GTA kind of angle, like the Watch Dogs angle, like the Assassin's Creed angles, you know, that kind of third person, but the relatively zoomed in version of it. I think that would be kind of unique and cool. Don't know how often I would use it. Admittedly, I don't think it would be as handy as you'd think, especially not if, like I said, if you're really like this with your opponent and they throw a jab to the body, you're not going to be able to see it because the camera is going to be so restricted, unless it's slightly diagonal, so you can just see the side of your body, maybe then, but I don't know, I just thought that would be kind of a unique one, and I'd like to hear your guys' thoughts on that one too. Next few are for after the fight. One thing I want would be a completely full free roam camera, so I can go back and rewatch fights. I can, from career mode, from online, I can go and rewatch knockouts, whatever, and I can move the camera freely. I literally, you know, I don't know, you go triangle, triangle, triangle to go through the cameras. You can go free roam, and you can move the camera wherever, and you can, you know, you could follow the punch. You could put the camera like here, and you could follow the punch like that, or you could watch it from up in the heavens. So you know, like that classic knockout where the ring is like there and the camera's up here and it's looking down and you can see everything and you can see all the cameramen and the judges around it. That would be really cool to be able to get some nice knockouts, some really cool screenshots from eSports Boxing Club. That's one I definitely want to see, especially in fight replay. I think fight replay is something they definitely need to pursue, and it's something they definitely need to work hard on, because not even for content, but for people sending videos to their mates, you know, where they just record it on their phone. Look at this knockout I got. That people love doing that, of all ages, and as a content creator as well, it'd be so cool. I could really make my careers unique, and I could make the finishes really unique. You know, you think I go for that big knockout punch, and then I can use the fight replay and this free roam camera to follow the punch, bang, and then the camera's up there looking down as my opponent falls to the ground. I think that would be really sweet. But you guys have to let me know what you think on that one. But I think that's one thing that we can all agree on is, in fight replay, we need a full free roam camera that lets us put it wherever. So we can put it on the corner, we can put it from the coach's corner point of view, we can put it from the judge's point of view, we can put it from up in the heavens, we can put it from above the ring, we can put it from right below your fighter's feet, so you're looking up at them as your fighters fight. Especially if it's like a tight inside body shot, a nice low camera angle would be able to see that and it would look really crisp. I'm not saying it's like a Fight Night Champion, like when you knock someone down it does that cheesy replay. I'm not saying for that. I'm saying for when we press a fight, we say, yeah, I want to watch that title fight that I just had again in my career mode, and then you go full fight replay, then you have the full free roam. I don't care how they do the replays in the fights. Maybe they just do a simple, you know, bang, or maybe there is no replays until at the end, like in the UFC game. There is no replays until between rounds or the end of the fight, which I like because it doesn't stop momentum. I don't want to get knocked down and have to watch the replay, because that's not realistic. If I'm fighting, I don't watch my own replay of getting knocked down, do I? I'm on the ground, then I'm like, all right, get back up. I feel like that replay slows the momentum of the fight down, and also can create quite a toxic environment online, because people will make you watch the replays. Like, one thing in FIFA is people raging because someone's making them watch the goal, and I don't want that in this game. So like I said, that's my biggest point, is the free roam camera for career mode, for content creation, for just people in general will just love using that. People will be able to make awesome montages. People will, like I said, will be able to send clips to their friend, be able to see like, how did I drop him in that exchange? You know, I just threw a few shots, and next thing I know, he was down. And they can look and they can see, you know, a tight body shot or a tight uppercut or something, and they can see the expression on people's face when they get hit. I think that'd be cool. But one more I really want to talk about, and this is another angle from a previous game. I think you guys knew this one was coming, and that is UFC Undisputed 3 in the Pride mode. They have a ref body cam. That is really cool. I know you maybe don't see it as much in boxing or in UFC, or even maybe much these days in the top level. You don't really see a body cam ref these days. But watching, I'll put it up on screen, as I've probably put quite a bit up on screen as the video's gone. But you can see the ref running to someone, running to push someone off, running to save, or, you know, as they get dropped and they're falling back, the ref is running towards them. And in boxing, obviously, you know, when a TKO is coming, if someone's getting dogpiled against the ropes, the ref is really close watching the action, and you can see it from the ref's point of view of how he was and how close he was and what he could see. I think that would be quite cool, but if I had to choose between the ones I've said, this ref cam would be at the bottom of my list. While it is very, very cool, it seems like a lot of resources for things that I'm not hugely bothered about. I'd more prefer the complete free roam cam, as well as the constant wide, the constant zoom, and the camera angle they've already got, which is the in and out, in and out. I would like adjusters as well throughout it, so I can choose how zoomed my zoom is and how out zoomed that zoom is too. So, you know, I can have like a 6 and a 5. So when it zooms in, it doesn't go waist, it goes a little bit lower than waist, it goes to thigh. Then when it zooms out, it goes nice and wide, but just fits the fighters in the screen. So the top of the screen's here and their headers here, for example, you know, and then if I want, I could have 10 and 10, which is super zoomed, which is, you know, waist and up, and then super zoomed, which is you can see the fighter and then you can see the ring on the crowd and stuff. So I definitely think, you know, like adjusters or, you know, scrollers or something, a bit like 2K has. If you guys have played 2K, you know what I mean. Like when you choose your 2K cam, you can choose between 1 and 10, and it kind of, you know, and I always have like 6, I think, as like mid-range for me. But I think those would be really cool. I think, you know, the free roam cam in Fight Replay is definitely a must-have. I think sliders, adjusters for individual cams. You know, you could have wide cam, then you choose between 1 and 2 and how wide, 1 and 10, sorry, and choose between how wide you want it. Another example of the free roam cam is NBA 2K. They have a really good one. While I'm not a huge fan of 2K games, when I have played it, I spend probably 25% of my time just rewatching like my dunks or my insane 3-point shooters. And you can see, if you guys watch YouTuber Chris Smooth, you can see he uses a lot when he breaks people's ankles. He transitions into it with really good editing. So he does it and he dunks, and then he'll cut to the replay of it, and it's full free roam transition, and it's the ankles break, and he watches the fighter, not the fighter, the player fall down as he's going. So we know he's already scored that point, but we see the angle we wouldn't have seen otherwise. And I always thought it was really, really cool that he done that. So that's something we could definitely see in, I definitely want to see in ESBC. But that's just my thoughts. Let me know yours in the comments down below. I really appreciate the devs asking these questions. I'd love to see them ask more. And yeah, it was really cool, to be honest, to see them ask these questions to the whole community. They put it on Twitter and there was like 200 odd replies, I think, or maybe 300 now at this point. And yeah, I'd like to see them ask more questions. I'm always happy to answer. I'm always happy to make videos on it. Mainly, as you guys always know, I always say, it's because I want to hear your guys' thoughts, and everyone can have an opinion, and sometimes it gives me ideas as well, so it's really cool. But yeah, let me know your thoughts. Obviously, if you guys make YouTube videos or whatever, feel free to, you know, jump in and make the same video and have a thought on what you think camera angles should be like and what you'd want to see. And yeah, thanks always for watching. I really do appreciate it, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. Peace.